January 30th, 1935. Mr. Evans Wentz, who studied with a revered Lama in Tibet and wrote the first English language translation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, asked, "Is solitude necessary for jnani?" Solitude is in the mind of man. One might be in the thick of the world and maintain serenity of mind. Such a one is in solitude. Another may stay in a forest, but still be unable to control his mind, and cannot be said to be in solitude. Solitude is a function of the mind. A man attached to desire cannot get solitude wherever he may be, whereas a detached man is always in solitude. So then, one might be engaged in work and be free from desire and stay in solitude. Is that right? Yes, work performed with attachment is a shackle, whereas work performed with detachment does not affect the doer. He is, even while working, in solitude. They say there are many saints in Tibet who remain in solitude and are still very helpful to the world. How can that be? It can be so. Realization of the self is the greatest help that can be rendered to humanity. Therefore, the saints are said to be helpful, though they remain in the forest. But it should not be forgotten that solitude is not in forests only. It can be had even in towns, in the thick of worldly occupations. Is it not necessary that saints should mix with people and be helpful to them? The self alone is the reality. The world and the rest of it are not. A realized being does not see the world as different from himself. Does that mean that the saint's realization leads to the uplift of humanity without the latter being aware of it? Is that so? Yes, the help is imperceptible, but is still there. A saint helps the whole of humanity, unknown to humanity. Would it not be better if he mixed with others? There are no others to mix with. The self is the one and only reality. If there were hundreds of self-realized men, would it not be to the greater benefit of the world? When you say self, you refer to the unlimited. But when you add men to it, you limit the meaning. There is only one infinite self. Oh, yes, I see. Sri Krishna has said in the Gita that work must be performed without attachment, and such work is better than idleness. Is that karma yoga? What is said is given out to suit the temperaments of the hearers. But in Europe, it is not generally understood that a man in solitude can be helpful. They imagine that only men working in the world can be useful. When will this confusion cease? Will the European mind continue wading in the morass, or will it realize the truth? Never mind Europe or America. Where are they except in your mind? Realize yourself, and then all is realized. If you dream and see several men, and then wake up and recall your dream, do you try to ascertain if the persons of your dream creation are also awake? What does the Maharshi think of the theory of universal illusion, or Maya? What is Maya? It is only reality. But is not Maya illusion? Maya is used to signify the manifestations of reality. Thus, Maya is only reality. But some say that Sri Shankaracharya was only intellectual and not realized. Is that so? Why worry about Shankaracharya? Realize your own self. Others can take care of themselves. Jesus Christ cured people of their diseases. Is that only in occult power, a siddhi? Was Jesus aware at the time that he was curing men? He could not have been conscious of his powers, for there is a story related as follows. Jesus had once cured a man of his blindness. The man turned wicked in the course of time. Jesus, meeting him after some years, observed his wickedness and asked him why he was so. He replied, saying that when he was blind, he could not commit any sin. But after Jesus had cured him of blindness, he grew wicked, and Jesus was responsible for his wickedness. Was not Jesus a perfected being possessing occult powers? He could not have been aware of his powers. Is it not good to acquire these siddhis, such as telepathy and such? Telepathy enables one to see and hear from afar. They are all the same, hearing and seeing. Whether one hears from near or far does not make any difference in the hearing. The fundamental factor is the hearer, the subject. Without the hearer or the seer, there can be no hearing or seeing. The latter are functions of the mind. These so-called occult powers or siddhis are therefore only in the mind. They are not natural to the self. That which is not natural but acquired cannot be permanent and is not worth striving for. A man is possessed of limited powers and is miserable, and he wants to expand his powers so that he may be happy. But consider if it will be so. If with limited perceptions one is miserable, with extended perceptions, the misery must increase proportionately. So these occult powers will not bring happiness to anyone, but will make him all the more miserable. Moreover, what are these powers for? The would-be occultist, the siddha, desires to display the siddhis so that others may appreciate him. He seeks appreciation, and if it is not forthcoming, he will not be happy. There must be others to appreciate him. He may even find another possessor of higher powers. That will cause jealousy and breed unhappiness. The higher occultist may meet a still higher siddha, and so on, until one will appear who blows up everything in a trice. Such is the highest adept, and he is God, or the self. So which is the real power? Is it to increase prosperity or bring about peace? That which results in peace is the highest perfection. But ordinary people in Europe and America would not appreciate such an attitude and would desire display of powers and instructions by lecture and such. Lectures may entertain individuals for a few hours without improving them. Silence, on the other hand, is permanent and benefits the whole of humanity. But silence is not understood. It does not matter. By silence, eloquence is meant. Oral lectures are not so eloquent as silence. Silence is unceasing eloquence. The primal master Dakshinamurti is the ideal. He taught his rishi disciples by silence. But then there were disciples for him. It was all right. Now it is different. They must be sought after and helped. That is a sign of ignorance. The power which created you has created the world. If it can take care of you, it can similarly take care of the world also. What does Bhagavan think of the lost soul mentioned by Jesus Christ? Think what there is to be lost. Is there anything to lose? What matters is only that which is natural. Such must be eternal and cannot be experienced. That which is born must die. That which is acquired must be lost. Were you born? You are ever existent. The self can never be lost. The Buddha advises the Eightfold Path as being the best so that none might be lost. Yes, this is called Raja Yoga by the Hindus. Is yoga advised for a spiritual aspirant? Yoga helps control of mind, but does it not lead to occult powers which are said to be dangerous? But you qualified your question by the words, a spiritual aspirant.